Hey, it's Garth Haslem, the home medic. Good to have you here on this balmy Utah 15-degree day. You need a coat. You need a good one on a day like this. This is a home in South Jordan, beautiful home. It had all kinds of gorgeous features to it. The crown molding, the nice wood floors, 12-foot ceilings, beautiful place. But you know what? This one wasn't perfect either. I want to show you some of the things that you see even on the best of homes on the exterior when you've got cold, icy winter days. Let's start just right over here. You know what you've got here, you see this we've got a nice 30-year shingle, but you can see the snow is building up. You see this pine tree here is actually touching the shingles. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize that critters can get up on that tree, onto the roof, and guess what? We had mice in the attic. So, lesson number one, we got to get these trees away from the house. Now, this tree is close enough that even if you were to cut all these branches off here, you're still going to have mice and raccoons, squirrels, etc. that are able to get onto the roof and then, of course, into the attic. So this whole tree just needs to go. Another item that I'd like to have you be aware of while we're in this corner is you see how the snow is just kind of melting and running down. There's an ice layer right next to your rain gutter there. Now, as you start talking about ice, you have to start talking about ice damming, and I'm going to take you around to a different spot on this particular house where the ice damming is worse. But ice damming can cause a lot of grief on your shingles, and eventually, besides damaging your shingles, it can cause water entry into your living space. You don't want to do that. Okay, another item that I'd like to show you, and this again is very much a factor in cold environments. As you see, we've got snow here that is not about to melt until it gets about 20 degrees warmer. Over here, I just barely disconnected this hose from the hose bib. Big time no-no, because what can happen is as the hose is connected there, the water backs up, you get an ice plug inside this hose bib, and we know that this one right now is plugged with ice because as I try to turn this on, we get nothing. So when the water or when the temperature warms up, it's entirely possible that you've got a busted hose bib in there, bad plumbing, and guess what happens next? Water into the basement. You don't want to do that either. So it's an easy thing to do, and it's one of those $10 fixes that in this case is pretty much free. But you've got to get that hose disconnected from the house. Or the $10,000 fix is that swimming pool in your basement. You don't want to do that. There's a number of places on this roof where we have ice dam and potential ice dam issues. This is one of them right up here. As you can see, we got two slopes coming together. You got the valley in between. And as you look right above here, you can see that we've got ice going from point A all the way over to about here. Anytime you've got ice building up like that, it's just murder on your shingles. You don't want to do that. How do you deal with that? The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your attic ventilation is good. That's going to be maybe a turtle vent. Well, it's going to be a few turtle vents. Or it could be an attic fan, something like that. After you've got that done, the next thing you want to do, if you still got ice issues, is you're going to want to put in ice melting tape near the drip line on your roof. That's the best way to keep ice from forming. If you got ice on the roof, not a good plan. You want to add measures until those sorts of problems are taken care of. Shakespeare said something about best laid plans, and this is a gorgeous house. It was well built by, I'm sure, a good contractor. But here's a good example of best laid plans that just aren't quite good enough. You've got a rain gutter here. They've dropped it all the way down. You see this drainage tube, and point A and B are no longer matching up. I'm thinking that the problem here is that either the soil moved and took the drain tube with it, or maybe even the ice pushed things around, but you can see that this this downspout here isn't going to drain anything anymore. This thing is just a big pile of ice. And so what little bit of water does make it away or out of this downspout is instead just running against the foundation, and we really don't want to do that either. The guarantee that I can make to you is that if you've got water on this side of the foundation, there's water on the other side too. And the only way to make sure that that side is dry is to make sure that this side is dry as well. So what do? We hook up this drain tube again to the downspout where it belongs. Probably want to use some screws to make sure that it stays there. Then we're going to run this drain tube at least 10 feet away from the house, and then we're going to want to daylight it. Now the soil here in this particular area is very fine. You've got a silt, a little bit of loam, and so some clay. It doesn't drain very well, so you can't just run it into the ground and think that you're done. You've actually got to drain that back out to daylight using one of those pop-up heads that kind of looks like a sprinkler head, but it doesn't have the sprinkler in there. Those are going to allow the water out. And then you've got an infinite drainage capacity here, and you're going to need that in order to keep the water away from the house. You know, this home has so many cool features. It just made both of us this is just a drop jaw house. You got to love this place. The decorations out here, the way things are done inside and outside, the way it was constructed, gorgeous house. All that being said, there's no such thing as a perfect house. I'm Garth Haslem, the Home Medic. Thanks for watching.